they just met in a trilogy for the first time ever, the same 3 teams, and it was a rubber match, meaning it bounces one way or another because they each won one. That's never happened before. They are recognized as the 2 best players in the game, as Magic and Bird were, where I would argue they're 2 of the 3 best players. You have to add Kawhi, but I would argue back then, and I, as a little kid, saw it, Moses Malone was right there with Magic and Bird. Not as popular to say now, but if you remember back then, he was the MVP and the Finals MVP. Great player. So 2 of the 3 best players in the game who were around the same age, who were around the same size. I know KD's a little taller than LeBron, but they're not exactly eye to eye. KD is not 7 feet, by the way, or maybe not even 6'11". He's like, it looks, when they stand next to each other, it looks like KD is an inch or maybe 2 taller than LeBron, who is 6'8".
I would strongly advise you to stand next to LeBron.
He's 6'8".
Oh, I would strongly advise you to stand
I stood next to LeBron. He's 6'8".
LeBron is massive,
yes,
bro.
He's a big, strong dude, no doubt.
And I think a legit 6'9".
Well, okay, but he's listed at 6'8", and in the NBA, they tend to exaggerate height. For example, Kevin Love is listed at like 6'9", and he's actually 6'7" and change outside of shoes. These are actually documented facts. So, like, if LeBron's listed at 6'8", he's probably not 6'9".
I'm 6'1.5", and I come up to here. To Kevin Durant.
Well, in that case, Durant's like 7'5".
You know what I'm saying?
No, but the point is they're both big, tall guys. As Magic and Bird were both kind of oversized for their positions, given their skills, so are LeBron and KD kind of oversized, at least in terms of height, around the same age. 2 of the best 3 players in the game, on the 2 best teams in basketball, been to 3 straight finals. One guy doesn't have 3. It's gone back and forth. They are anticipated to be back in the finals next year. These 2 teams, particularly the Warriors. I mean, it won't be exact, Stephen A. You could point out the differences, but in the broad strokes, show me a closer comparison to Magic and Bird than KD and LeBron since Magic and Bird.
Well, the thing is, I don't have to show you a closer comparison because the question is whether or not this is Bird and Magic. And I'm saying no, I don't believe that, not yet. Number one, this is KD's first with this team. We anticipate that he'll get back. We anticipate that LeBron will be faced against him. We don't know if LeBron's staying. We don't know if LeBron might move forward. We don't know if LeBron might be on the different
that smile
squad.
on your face tells me that you might know.
No, I'm just saying, stay tuned. My point to you is that we know that Kevin Durant is probably going to stay right here in the Golden State and that the Warriors will be the team to beat in the NBA, not just the West. We don't know what LeBron is going to do. We don't know what's going to happen to Cleveland because you have to remember, even though LeBron isn't a free agent until next summer, because he can't just go anywhere, and it's anticipated that he may leave, they don't have to capitulate to his demands the way that they once did. So in a quest to look forward towards the future, they may not want to make the necessary moves now that he might want them to make and he might deem in their best interest for the immediate future. Dan Gilbert, David Griffin, and those guys might think long term, and that might compromise Cleveland's success. So we just don't know. If I'm going to sit up there and I'm going to say KD and LeBron and that Bird-Magic rivalry, I'm looking at the individual talents, and I can't dispute that that is the closest thing that we have. But in terms, but what made Bird and Magic great was that they were competing directly for championships. And either one or the other, they either went up against each other or one or the other made it. And I'm saying to you, I don't know if LeBron's going to be there. Nope. I got to wait and see. I have no doubt that Golden State will be back. But LeBron and Cleveland remains to be seen.
I agree.
That's my point.
I agree with that, and it's not done yet. And some of this is kind of like your finger in the wind and seeing which way it's blowing and you're projecting the trajectory of both teams, right? Okay. Some of that is that. And Golden State's coming. Barring catastrophic injury, knock wood, Golden State, there's no stopping them. The Cavs, there might be stopping them, but if you had to put your money on it right now, you probably put it on the Cavs, which means they'll be seeing each other in next year's finals.
Just to put some news out here on First Take, doing some reporting, putting on my reporting hat during the NBA Finals, all that stuff. Let me just break it down.
You were on air until like 5 minutes ago on SportsCenter.
Tell me about it, right? Anyway, KD and Steph are going to stay. Steph is going to re-up. KD's right. I mean, this is stuff that everybody, they've already, they ain't going anywhere. They'll be here. So Golden State will be here. In Cleveland, got to make a decision. They're probably going to try to move Love. Even though they swear up and down they may not move Kyrie, keep in mind that because of the question marks about Chris Paul, Chris Paul, you heard the word San Antonio Spurs. Well, because you're hearing San Antonio Spurs, as a result of that, if you're Doc Rivers and the Los Angeles Clippers, who, by the way, will probably be getting Jerry West, keep in mind that because you suspect that you may lose CP3, you might not just want to lose him for nothing to San Antonio. CP3 might sit up there and talk to the godfather of his children and vice versa. When LeBron James, look, I want to come to Cleveland. If he's willing to do that, then they might be willing to move Kyrie. Now, if you got Chris Paul coming to Cleveland, you never know what that does. See, these are all the things that they're talking about, not to mention the fact, hold on, wait a minute, look. I'm giving you information. That's all I'm doing. One of the other things, we've been talking about Melo, we've been talking about Paul George possibly ending up, if Cleveland could get their hands on it. Don't be surprised if somebody picks up the phone, I don't know which side, and they say Kevin Love for Blake Griffin. These are the kind of things that are being entertained right now. And as the weeks go by, these calls will be made, and we'll have to wait and see how things fall out before we can decide who's going to meet Golden State next year.
If you're interested in the kind of profound impact that LeBron James has on any team he's on, when in the modern history of American team sports has a superstar who plays in LA for a playoff team, Chris Paul, maybe asks, hey, you think you could trade me to Cleveland? When has that ever happened? LeBron James makes that a potential reality.
So do the Warriors.
You could put it that way, or you could put it, you're talking to somebody who loves himself some CP3. I think he's sensational. But let's also keep in mind, he's never even played in a conference finals. When you're starving for an opportunity to shine, that'll change a lot of feelings.